So just a quick overview of my DIY wet dry filter and auto top off system. First we'll go over the auto top off. Got here a little 3.5 gallon per hour pump. Um, so my intent for that is to put it on a timer and basically have it run for 10 minutes each night. And so that's, ballpark half a gallon. Couple liters of water that'll be depositing into the tank. So for convenience, I just use straws. So this would be the clean water reservoir, and then dumping straight into the display tank. So when I plug that guy in, you can see the water trickling out. Again, not a lot of volume, but for auto top off, don't need a lot of volume. In the display tank, again, this is an old 1 gallon beta tank I had. I installed an overflow, mangled the tank in the process, but again, this is just a proof of concept. So this is what the overflow back down into the filter would look like. Down here you'll see an overflow coming out of the wet dry filter. So the intent with the auto top off is that, for every half gallon or so of water that tops off overnight, there should be a little bit less than, but pretty close to a half gallon of water that overflows out of the sump or out of the filter, corresponding to that volume change. Again, because of the way the overflow is set up. So you can kind of see the water right there at the edge. After about a minute of the 3.5 gallon per hour pump being turned on, it starts trickling out and runs. So that side of thing works well, and I'll just go ahead and leave that on while we're looking at this. The main filter, as you can see, I've repurposed an old toolbox, so it's the heart of DIY, using what you have available. You can see the power cable, just run out a hole I cut in the top. This is the return water, using a spring clamp because for this tank the pump's way too powerful. It's a 320 gallon per hour, and that's a 1 gallon tank, so way too powerful, so I'm using the spring clamp to kind of restrict that flow a little bit, so it doesn't overflow. And if I'd cut my overflow or bulkhead a little better, it probably wouldn't be as bad. But yeah, it's got clips on the sides for holding the toolbox together, so we can just take the lid off. And what you can kind of see is my what I set up is the mechanical filtration. I have a little bit of screening left over from some windows that I did. Overflow comes, tees off, and so it's got two sets of drains coming out there. Underneath the netting didn't have any polyester, but for proof of concept I was just using some old rags I had laying around. Can't really see, there you can a little bit, but there's holes drilled all through this layer to filter, trickle down into the next layer below. You can kind of hear that running. So let me go ahead and turn the pump off while I take it any further apart, just because of the way I have it plumbed, it's a little firm. Oh, there you can see the overflow on the auto top off coming out. So turn this guy off. You'll hold on with me a second. There we go. Let's just take this off completely. Okay. Taking off the first layer. You can see here coming into the second layer. I just have some sponges that I picked up at Walmart for $4 or something like that. So that'd be the biological media. I don't know if you can see, but there's holes drilled on the side here, which are the primary overflows out of this. So the sponges are, roughly 50% submerged. There's holes on the other side as well. And then from there it drains into the main body of the main cavity of the toolbox. So if we take both those guys out, you can see the main portion. Got the pump in there, got the overflow sitting, and yeah, then the pump returns water, and that's about it. So all in all, it was a proof of concept. I won't be using the toolbox in my new tank I'm planning on setting up just because it's too small for the amount of volume that I'm looking at. But I think as an idea, it's works out really well. It's compact. It's got a handle, you can carry it. So just thought I'd at least put my ideas more than on paper, but do some rough plumbing it out and see how it works, and take some ideas with me onto a future project. Hope you enjoyed.